Hey guys, today we're going to talk about alcohol.
Cheers. Most alcohol contains a pretty good amount of carbs.
Yeah, so we're going to run through beers, wines, liquors, and I guess in champagne will fall into the category of wines.
Drinking on keto. One thing you want to be aware of is how much more the alcohol affects you.
Absolutely.
I don't know an exact ratio, but I would probably say double as much, like maybe twice as much it hits you.
It definitely depends on your weight and what you've eaten that day, how much you've eaten, but given you have such a small intake of carbs, it hits you a lot faster and a lot stronger. So, when you do start drinking, just watch for that. After one or two drinks, keep an eye and make sure you're comfortable with yourself and your intake.
Yeah, I would recommend just have a night of like 2 drinks. For the first time drinking on keto, just do like 2 drinks one night. And you'll be surprised how much
different it is.
Yeah.
Drinking's probably not recommended, but if you're a normal social person, you're going to go out and you're going to have drinks, you're going to go to a party or a bar after work, whatever the case is, like us. So we have to find ways that drinking fits into our keto lifestyle. And that's why we're here today, to show you a video about how you can do that too. Because we don't want you to feel like, you're prohibited from eating certain things or drinking certain things, because that's absolutely not the case.
Yeah, it helps you adhere to the diet more if you can just be a normal person when you're doing it.
Right. When it comes to beer, I'm sure you guys could have guessed, beer is just a straight up no-go because it's high in carbs. So if you take an average beer, say Bud Light, America's beer, it has about 6 carbs per 12 fluid ounces or per bottle. So that's about 1/4 of your net carbs that you'll be intaking for the day. And
you're getting like 5% alcohol out of it.
Right.
So if you're going to get drunk off Bud Light, you're going over your carb limit. So drinking beer is, honestly, that's probably the hardest thing for me to give up. It's the thing I miss most, like just drinking craft beers and stuff.
Yeah, craft beers are very high in net carbs.
Yeah.
In carbs.
A lot of them are like 20 per bottle. There's some beers that are okay for keto, like MGD 64 is like 2 something carbs. Michelob Ultra, those type of beers, but they're just basically just watered down and they're like a couple percentage. So you're still, to get relatively drunk, if that's your goal, is it's going to be like a lot of carbs.
Yeah, because you'll be drinking just a lot more. So next we have wine.
Wine. Good in between ground for keto drinking.
Yeah.
It's not super low carbs.
Red and white wine have about 4 carbs per 5 fluid ounces.
Per glass. That's like a glass of wine.
Yeah, 5 or 6 ounces comes in a normal glass when you're at a restaurant, or if you have a heavy hand, you might be pouring more than 5 ounces, and then, there's more carbs. Then champagne is about 2 carbs per 4 fluid ounces.
Most wines, red and white, they're between 3 and 4 grams of carbs per 5 fluid ounce glass. There's some, if you see like sweet red wine, that will be a lot more carbs. If you see like Roscato or something like that, like any of the sweet wines will be higher in carbs.
Right, even like a Riesling, which isn't as sweet, but it's a sweeter white wine, that is about 5 carbs.
So we generally look for like Cabernet. Pinot Noir is what I like. You like Cabernet, right?
Cabernet, yeah.
Pinot Grigio, Chardonnay.
Yeah.
Those are all good.
But they still all have about 4 carbs per 5 fluid ounces.
Your best bet, really, when you're drinking on keto is the hard stuff.
So liquor has 0 carbs, just straight off the bat. That's fantastic to know. But it's also a lot higher in alcohol, so you want to be a lot more careful considering what we told you, that it hits you a lot harder. So you're going to be drinking less, which is great, so less calories, and there's also 0 carbs. So yeah, that is your best bet. And you'll be mixing it with diet sodas or any 0 calorie drinks. So you're better off right there just starting without liquor.
Mm-hmm. Not every liquor though is 0. Pretty much all of the 80 proof, typical like vodka, rum, tequila, whiskey, those are all 0 carb. There's some that are like deceptive, like Jägermeister, I think, is sweetened with something.
You can taste the sweetness in that.
Yeah. Or anything like Bailey's or stuff like that, obviously, no go. Tonic water is one thing I would be careful of, because when you think about it, you're thinking it tastes gross, so it probably has 0 carbs because it's not sweet at all. But no, it has a ton of carbs in it.
Yeah.
So a good rule of thumb is to drink 2 glasses of water per alcoholic beverage. which that's like a rule people say no matter what, even if you're not doing keto, but you should actually observe that rule when you're doing this.
It'll make a lot of difference. In the beginning, Matthew and I, we didn't do that. And then we realized quickly that doing that makes a lot of difference the next morning.
Yeah, one thing I've experienced on keto that I've never before with prior to starting keto is I will just be drinking casually, like a couple drinks, and not be feeling too drunk, but then I'll have a hangover the next day if I don't drink water.
Right.
It can really sneak up on you. Like I've had nights where I haven't even felt the alcohol drinking and I'll still get a decent hangover the next day. So just always be drinking water.
And you're also not going to be going out after drinking at all and getting pizza or getting Chinese food or whatever, you would normally do if you weren't on a keto diet and drinking. So that could also play into it. But one night Matthew and I made a whole pan of broccoli and we covered it in cheese and it was just as good as any piece of pizza we could eat. So
I remember that. You still remember that?
It was great. So you never know, keto will really change you and your diet and your life, and you'll see the benefits.
Comment below if you guys have any questions about drinking, anything keto related. We will address that in future videos, and we're looking for your guys' feedback.
We definitely want to be a point of reference for you guys, because we know that when we first started off about 6 to 7 months ago, we had a lot of questions and a lot of worries, me personally especially, doing a lot of different fad diets and a lot of different workouts inconsistently. So please reach out to us. We will answer any questions and we're here to support you, and we would love to hear from you.
Mad love. I was just waiting for that one. I don't know why.
All right, so thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys soon. Bye.